What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Having Said That show. I'm Adi here with Jay.
What's up, guys?
And today, the rest of the crew is joined by the one and only Arjun Vaidya. Make some noise.
It's a big deal for me. I'm nervous.
Are you actually?
He called me on the way here and he's like, bro, I'm nervous. I'm like, there's
I have to impress these
no
guys. I have to impress these
Oh,
guys.
Jay.
Jay, I impress every day. Twice or thrice a week.
Okay, I know how you can impress these guys. They love a good controversial opinion. That's how we get the show started. Let's see what the tone is at.
Okay, which one should I go with?
The more
Yeah,
controversial
he
ones.
sent me his 3 controversial opinions earlier. All 3 are good.
I think
Go
you
for
should
it.
just, in order of what you find
Yeah.
most controversial, just
Okay,
scale
so,
up to it.
So I'll start with the most controversial.
Okay, sir.
So I think that mental health is real, and it's a big problem that we face. Existential crisis for our world, but it's the most abused excuse ever. People use it all the time, and it's like the new "my stomach is hurting, so I can't come to school" kind of thing. And you can't say anything about it, right? You can't
Yeah.
call out someone because there's no way to validate that or justify that. But in the workplace, outside the workplace as well, it's something that people are getting away with a lot.
Yeah.
But there's
What's
nothing
the
you can do
most
about it.
ridiculous excuse you've heard? Where you were like, bro, you're definitely like taking this a bit too far.
Mental health, you can't say anything.
Yeah,
I
right?
know you can't say it, but you can feel it. You felt it.
Yeah, you felt it. You felt it, of course, right? Like I've had Gen Z interns intern with us, and yeah, it, like when you're
They're taking a
interning,
mental health
when you're
days.
interning with someone, you're not getting the full experience, right?
Yeah.
You're getting maybe a 50% experience of what the stress in the job looks like, 30% experience if you're doing only 2 months. And then one intern just left in a week saying that this job is too mentally taxing, and
Oh,
it was a
wow.
virtual internship, right? So like, we didn't even meet so much. This job is too mentally taxing, and
Bro,
I
that's
can't
crazy.
take it. And you are causing, like straight up to me, you are causing issues
wow.
with my mental health. So I'm leaving. I knew it was I don't want to continue the internship, or I didn't do my assignment, or I found something better. I knew it.
Yeah.
But what can you say, right?
No, you can't really
And then
say
in
anything.
a more serious circumstance, I will say that there was a founder who I invested in who was running a pretty cool brand, very good business, and then it didn't go as planned. It was going like usually you see a startup that goes like this. She went like this hockey stick, and then things stopped working, so she started going down. When you hockey stick and then you go down, you start believing that hockey stick is going to continue forever.
Yeah.
And then she started going down, and she couldn't deal with it. And she had something really cool. She had a good product. She had a good brand. She had real stuff there that shouldn't have died.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't able to raise money, and it was difficult and all of that stuff. And then she called me and she's like, "I'm shutting this down. I'm filing for bankruptcy." And I said, "Dude, like you have so much good stuff going for you." And actually most founders would be where you are.
Yeah.
It's just that you've gone from up to down rather than linearly up. And I was like, "Come on, let's keep fighting. Like, let's do this, you know?" And then she's like, "It's taking too much toll on my health and my mental health, and I'm not able to sleep at night, and I have to take sleeping pills and stuff like that." And so
Yeah.
at that moment, I'm just like, forget it, stop. But that was something so good and powerful, and it just
Yeah.
let it go.
You think like younger people have just gotten more ill-equipped to deal with stress, and that's why it's easier to blanket it as mental health issues.
Yeah, this is
rather than
the
an
second
excuse, you know?
this is the second
Yeah.
second controversial opinion I had, and I heard this from a founder that I was with in Ahmedabad yesterday. It's not mine. I borrowed it from him. He was just getting out of a relationship, or he was dating someone, and then that person didn't understand the entrepreneurial journey, right? Didn't have the empathy for the entrepreneurial journey, because it makes sense, right? Like if I was a founder and my partner was not into it and I'm working 16 hours a day, like I remember in my early days running my business, I was working 16 hours a day, but I was doing like 10 lakhs a month of sales. So it's like you have nothing to show for it as well. You know, it's not like you're killing it, your company is doing well. So he said like, basically his partner was in a different frame of mind, different state in life, and the partner didn't understand what this whole 16 hours, missing every party, missing every wedding was. And he said something to me. He said, work-life balance is something you have to earn. You don't get it on the first day of your job.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you gotta put in the hard yards first to be able to then have the balance. And so on day 0 of your first job, you can't be chilling on a weekend saying I'm not available for calls, etc. Now, I think there is some amount of work-life balance that should be maintained. I don't do it. I have no work-life balance. I've never had it. I don't know why I'm not able to do it. I feel guilty. I feel if I have work-life balance, I'm complacent. Somebody else is disrupting me. I understand the need for work-life balance as well because I burn out all the time. But I kind of agreed with him that in the early days, put in the hard yards. Like you gotta get somewhere before you say, I'm taking my European 1 month break every August, which is also completely
No,
ridiculous.
100%. I think that if you are starting something out, you have to be obsessed because especially if it's yours, nobody else is going to care as much as you. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's also no empathy, which at the same time is like you have to go and meet people and, you know, be social and be a part of their lives and stuff. But to a certain extent, there's nothing much you can do after a certain point. You know, you can't be everywhere all at once. So
I
that
think-
takes a little bit of time for I think the people in your life to understand and adjust
Yeah.
to, because not everyone is doing the same thing. Other people might have more, you know, stable jobs or whatever, or stuff that they
Correct.
have lined up. But as an entrepreneur, I think you have to, at least initially, and I don't know for how many years.
It was very hard
stay on that.
for an entrepreneur's partner, right? Like yesterday, I was
Yeah.
watching this book release of Cheteshwar Pujara, the cricketer. His wife wrote a book on being the wife of a cricketer. And if you guys are cricket fans, there was that knock which he played in Australia where
Yeah.
he took blow after
Blow
blow
after
after
blow
blow.
for like 100
And his wife says,
something.
I was watching that on TV 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Like that is really hard to take, right? And so, I mean, we speak always from the entrepreneur side, oh, they don't understand. But yeah, it's hard for the partner as well.
Yeah.
It is hard for the partner, and I think especially early on, the work-life balance is less about like, oh, I deserve to take a holiday, I deserve to do this, and more about allotting time. So like you said, you don't end up burning out. And it's not like social time. It's like I've had this conversation with Jay a lot because of course Jay has now started his new gym and he's like cutting into his sleep just to keep his, like, you know, he's working hard. He's there from 6 a.m. till closing, etc. And then he's feeling bad that he can't do all his social commitments, and then he has to like be a part of his relationship and stuff. And I felt the same thing. And what I learned was that instead of me saying no to social things, and you know, because work can't be cut down, I was cutting into like the time that I took to recharge so I could do better at work. And by the end of it, like I was putting in 16-hour days.
But that's the efficiency after 12 hours.
It
is
was
gone.
just
It's
done,
zero.
right? Because
Yeah.
I was not
You're sitting in front of the laptop. It's there's something on it, but it's blank.
Yeah, right. Like I think you understand that, like especially when you're in your 20s, like this is your time to really hustle. You're young, you have the energy, and you have to just basically reach the point where it's like, I'm not saying no to meeting you because I have to work, or I'm not saying no to this because I have to do this. It's I need to sleep, or I need to do something.
recharge for
So it
yourself.
helps me in my career. You know, that's what I think my biggest.
Can I ask you guys something? I don't know the answer to this, and I've been trying to figure it out. And I think there's some urban bias, but is going out reduced significantly?
Yeah.
Like social, like the social commitments.
I think
No. So not social commitments. What going out used to look like for me when I was 25 years old was 23, 24 years old when I just moved back to India from
Yeah.
college was this pre-game, this bar, this club, and then that hotel with unlimited buffet at 2 a.m.
yeah.
I don't see people doing that so
I
much
think it
anymore.
still exists,
Bro,
but not as much.
yeah.
Like you just attended a birthday party, right? Why don't you tell these guys what you
Yeah,
did?
I went last night to a friend's surprise birthday, which was like at 11 o'clock, and then you want to bring in at 12. At 12:01, I was in my car coming back home because at 7 this morning, a friend had a run for his birthday.
Yeah.
I had so much more fun on that one, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm just old.
There's a
I don't know.
whole shift that's happening.
No, I
though.
get-
People are trading in like a lot of late nights for like early mornings. They
This-
still get together.
I think the same way that you speak about when you're in your 20s, you feel this need to like work hard and stuff. I think the 20s is just like a experiment of finding balance. So you test your extremes on the work end, you test your extremes on the social end as well. Because I'm sure all of us have been on like 1 week kind of ragers at weddings and stuff, just testing the extreme other end of
But that continues even at my age. I'm not saying it
but
doesn't
it gets
continue.
less. Like you left at 12:01 because you were like, yo,
But if it's a wedding, I'm there till 5 a.m.
okay, weddings.
I have not been to a bar for a night that's not a birthday party or a wedding in 5 years.
Yeah,
I've just not been.
because
I'm not gone.
bro, because we prefer more like plans at home, or you can do the same
But-
thing in a more quieter.
But
in a
I'm
more
asking you guys, are you going to that
comfortable-
bar?
We are.
They are. I've noticed this.
We,
like,
we still are sometimes.
And is it happening every Friday and Saturday?
Honestly,
No.
yes.
I
but
mean, everyone's different, but yeah.
But
we
in
do
general,
go,
yes.
like we have like a standing plan. Usually on Fridays we go out. We've reduced going out on Saturdays because of the pod. Of course,
Yeah.
last night was an exception, but it was like like that. Going out still looks different. Like I feel like clubbing as a concept.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's
I used to do
dead.
it all the time.
Clubbing
I
is
loved
dead,
it.
bro, I think.
Tables and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bottles and I did it.
Yeah, like and
We
even
never really did that.
It seems
no,
alien
but
to me.
we
did,
I
right?
think we missed. I think we did.
Tryst and
but
stuff.
we
Of
missed
course we
the.
did.
I think
Hardly,
Aditya and I.
bro.
you all
We
did
never
the
did
just guest list and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I less so in
Like when you
school
say
and
tryst,
drink.
the first word that comes to my mind is home.
Yeah.
That's messed up. That's super messed up. I love
an actress. Family.
Tryst and Prive was like, yes, sir. And I remember like 5 years after we were too old to go to Tryst, one night we just got a table at Tryst and we went back.
Bro,
Oh my
and then
God.
it's just surrounded by like 16-year-olds.
Yeah, but we loved it. We had a great time that night. Now I can't imagine it, but like, that's what I'm saying, right? For me,
Yeah.
Tryst, home, right? But
Yeah.
that's not the same for you.
It's not. No.
I guess we're
Thank
also
God,
a little,
bro.
like there are yeah, not all that.
But
is-
There was a time where like I mean everyone.
Like, I would just enter that
Yeah.
place and be like, yeah, everyone knows me here. Like,
Yeah.
It was also like one of the only few spots like
That stayed
that at
late,
the
oh,
time,
that
bro.
stayed late.
So,
Yeah,
it
now
was
it's all like-
revolutionary, bro.
I also think I don't know if this is a hot take. I think Bombay has gotten really expensive, bro.
It is.
Like I think restaurants have gotten way more expensive. Going out has gotten way more. Getting coffee has gotten way more expensive. Like my brother comes back from the US and I say, oh, let's go get a coffee. And he starts complaining, and I'm like, you're not paying for it. He's like, I pay this much for a coffee in New York,
Yeah.
and people are earning so much less. Like, how is this okay? And I feel
Real
like-
estate and going out in Bombay is as expensive as New York, London,
Which is
San Francisco,
crazy, bro.
Tokyo, Hong
Yeah.
Kong, Dubai. It's the same. I was in Bali last weekend. It was 1/4 the price of Bombay for everything. 1/4.
And for better stuff, for way better stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I'm very patriotic, so I won't say better stuff.
and he invests in all the companies here.
But,
so.
but that's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
and by the way, Bali is like a pretty popping tourist destination. There's
Yeah.
people going there and spending money, but it's cheap.
yeah,
Cabs are cheap,
Yeah.
hotels are cheap, restaurants are cheap, bars are cheap, everything is cheap.
But you also think that because it's cheap, it drives so much more volume there that it kind of makes up for.
But the volume is there. I'm saying they could maybe, I don't know what their strategies, they could price more, but Bombay shouldn't be this expensive. I
it
don't know.
really, bro, it's crazy. It's like going out and spending.
But people are willing to pay.
yeah,
Then it should be that expensive.
Someone bought a house in Worli for 2,50,000 rupees a square foot. There's someone willing to pay that money.
Yeah.
crazy.
Talking about Bombay, a small digression. I saw this thing yesterday that Bombay was voted as the best city to find love in.
Oh, I saw that
Oh, just because
also.
there's
It's
so
so
many
weird.
people
But that's
like
so
Like,
fake.
why Bombay? I think that's fake. I mean, I
No,
don't
I'll
need
tell you
that.
why.
I've
I'll
seen
tell you why also.
Bombay's the worst city also.
Dude, there's so many
to
people.
find love in.
Why is Bombay tough to find love?
Bro, have you? I don't know. I
I
mean,
found
you're
love in
obviously
Bombay.
old.
Everyone in this room
Even
found love.
everyone
No,
has
you're
found
not
love.
even cool guys,
Stop,
relax.
stop. She said you're obviously old.
No, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, well, see, I would say I'm the only one probably in this room who's like been on the apps, like Hinge and Bumble.
I've
where
been
you
on it
really
also.
like.
Yeah, no, Sid's been
I've
on the
been on it
apps.
also.
Okay, well,
Sid used to
Sid's been
clean
on
up,
it.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
used
so
to
true.
clean up.
Okay, but
It's actually just
what I'm
says
trying to
Instagram,
say
bro. Just the
is like
That's
at
the
least
vibe on the apps.
as a girl on the apps, like you see these men who are there, and they are not the men like that you want to be with. And the stock that's there on the apps is quite bad.
But I guess I
it's
guess
not good.
What Sid's talking about being in Bombay is that a lot of people want to be in Bombay. So a lot of young people who want to do their own thing, like
Yeah.
influencers, businessmen, whatever, they
It's a dream.
come and
Bombay's the
like
dream.
yeah, like they come
melting
to
pot.
Bombay
Yeah.
for that dream, and I think that creates like a city of like-minded individuals who are also at the same time looking for love.
And then looking for love, and then that also goes to say that there are things to do in the city. There are activities you can do together,
There are
places
so
you can
many
go to.
more things to do in Bombay that weren't available 10 years
yeah,
ago. Bro.
so which I don't know
I
if
totally
I
miss the
entirely
apps.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the apps.
Yeah, exactly. I
Because
mean,
Tinder came to my
I thought
college
you, I
campus.
thought you were saying that you
miss-
missed that.
Tinder came to my college in my last semester.
That's why
I remember I was like part of the Tinder university team, like promoting it at Brown and stuff.
No way, dude.
For the last semester. It just came to my campus. And then when we came to India, I was like, there's no way this is coming to India, right?
Yeah.
Like, this culture of hookups, like,
Yeah.
it can't come, but it's like thriving here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why Hinge does better in India, especially Bombay. It's
No,
because,
Tinder's thriving, man.
Tinder's more popular than Hinge in Bombay.
I would say that the problem with the way we make these statements is we use our frame of reference, which is this room, this AC environment of South Bombay. There are so many things in the world of consumer apps or consumer products that we think are doing well but are not doing. Like I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
My best ever product I launched, my most favorite product was this product called Live It Up Hangover Shield. It is
Sure.
a hangover product. I was 25 when I launched it. I used to go outside, Tryst, 145, promote it, all of these music festivals, etc. And it was selling in Noble Chemist.
Yeah.
And
Yo, shout out Noble, man. Just really quick. Just
shout out Noble.
Shout out Noble, dude.
Now I'm not. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to say
Yeah.
why Noble did. No, I think Noble's great. And so when I listed in Noble and I paid 2 lakh rupees to get my product in Noble, all my friends were like, congratulations. My family
Yeah.
was like, oh, my friend told me that like you've listed in Noble. Like my mom was getting congratulations from her friends.
Wow, is it
Yo,
such a big deal?
Noble
Yeah.
is-
Because
bro, they
everyone, in
give
South
Noble
Bombay,
and Noble.
everyone in South Bombay goes to Noble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, that store never, across the 21 stores, which were there at the time, I assume they have more stores now, never did more than 50,000 rupees a month for me in sales.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, I guess because
And other platforms which we don't know about smash Noble, but everybody was like, he's a Noble, he's killing
Yeah.
it.
What are the
other
He's a Noble, he's
platforms?
killing it. Like,
just random chemists out there,
no,
like,
like TikTok was doing 5 lakhs a day for me.
What?
Noble was doing
Shit.
50,000 a month, 5 lakhs a day.
Amazing, dude.
Whoa.
It got to a point and Vishal was there when we were spending 5 lakhs a day on TikTok.
Crazy.
Spending
Wow.
5 lakhs a day.
I have a question about this actually, because of course I remember Live It Up. I remember this is like the most South Bombay take ever, but all the like wedding baskets
Yeah,
they would
yeah,
put
yeah,
Live It Up
yeah,
in
yeah.
it and all.
And we did a very cool thing. We found a place on the pack where we could add the wedding
Names.
hashtag.
I remember this.
okay.
Actually,
Oh.
someone
That's
someone
sick.
who was a creator who was getting married wanted a hashtag, and I printed the hashtag where you stamp the manufacturing date, and you can't see it really there. So she just sent me a photo and put her finger and said, "I want my hashtag here."
Amazing.
And that was a crazy trend.
I
Like,
remember
people
this.
went crazy
Yeah, I
with
remember
that.
this
and-
as well.
And I mean I still use Live It Up. And then I don't know if this is like we can cut this out. Were you first? Was Party Smart first? What's the story there?
Body Smart was like 30 years before us.
Oh no way.
But they are part of Himalaya,
Right.
which is a larger group that sells personal care products and healthcare products, and they have this very boring, not boring, but they have this very
It's too clean, the
clinical,
image. Yeah.
medical positioning, which also makes sense, right? Because the rest of the products you're selling are like Live 52 and some neem face wash, and then there's a body product.
Like an Ayurvedic vibe.
Yeah.
It
They
doesn't
don't wanna
vibe,
promote
right?
a party product 'cause they don't
so
promote
we made a
parties, I
conscious
guess.
decision to have Live It Up social media and website aside from Dr. Vaidya's, because
Right.
you can't say pop 2 pills before you party, wake up fresh in the morning, and then say also cure your diabetes.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense. So we did separate packaging. But
Very cool.
this morning, after that run that I went for, I went to social. And at the time when we were competing with Party Smart, we smashed Party Smart, right? Because they never marketed themselves.
Yeah.
Whoever bought Party Smart, and also our product is better, and you can try it and put it to test. But I saw at social now, Party Smart has got a brand ambassador and they're promoting their product in bars, which is what we used to do like 7-8 years ago. So they finally woken up to it.
I thought you guys were first, man. I thought you guys came out, and because I'd never heard of Party Smart, I'd seen Live It Up everywhere.
I'll tell you a Party Smart story. I remember my dad and my aunt had a massive New Year's party in Alibag when I was like 7-8 years old. And when they came back, I used to just like go to my parents' room and play with their drawers and take out stuff. And I opened a drawer and I saw Party Smart in my dad's drawer. I remember asking him, "What is this? Like, why do you need it?" And then like seeing like wake up fresh in the morning. They didn't medical company. They couldn't even say hangover on the
Yeah,
packaging.
yeah.
So I remember that product being like, why would you need this? And then I started seeing it again while I was in college.
Amazing. Crazy. The last thing on this, the wildest thing I saw, I was in New York buying beers because we were going to some comedy show, and at Whole Foods at the checkout they had a Party Smart pill.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
wow. Yeah.
oh wow, there's an American company as well. It was like $3 for one pill.
that's
Crazy
Himalaya.
price. It was Himalaya.
That's
yeah.
Himalaya.
Different
Yeah.
packaging. Different.
they sell
everything.
one pill.
Yeah, one pill.
They sell one
It was
pill.
like
$3.
$3 or
For
$5.
$3.
Yeah, yeah.
They sell only one pill.
And they sell the
Why?
same. They sell a pack of 10, I think, or 5.
5 for like $60.
Yeah, that's why.
And I was like maybe $5 for one, and I was like, this is fucking insane. Anyway, let's move on to our next segment.
Whole Foods, Organic India. You guys know that brand?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Just
yeah.
in Whole Foods in the US, Organic India Tulsi tea, $15 to $20 million.
Whoa.
Just that one
Just that one
SKU.
SKU.
Wait, the
That's crazy.
That
Tulsi tea.
Tea.
Damn,
The tea bags. Oh,
that's
yeah.
crazy, bro.
What is a company you've recently invested in that you're most excited about right now?
So my first investment from the fund is a company called Cuckoo FM. How many of you guys know
Yeah,
what
of
Cuckoo
course.
FM is?
I've heard of
No.
No.
Cuckoo FM is a vernacular content platform that does audio content in Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. So I told you about this.
Yeah. You did.
So think about like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Psychology of Money,
Got it.
MS Dhoni's biography, my D2C course also, which I teach on that platform. But like, where is the point where someone earning 20,000 rupees a month can get this content or doing derivative trading in their regional language, right? And so this app that charges 99 rupees a month, now a little bit more than 99 because they also have video, has 10 million plus paid subscribers
Wow.
That's wild.
and
bro.
does more than 1,000 crore ARR.
Whoa, wild,
That's
dude.
insane.
So it's like translations of these works, or is it they create fresh content?
They create a book summary in that language.
Okay.
They'll create religious content. They'll create entertainment content,
Very
stories, history,
Mythological
like
stuff,
anything
spiritual
that you want.
content,
And
And it's actually created content or like AI'd some of it?
well, it is created. Now they use a lot of AI with it, but it's created like they had Pankaj Tripathi do a show on the platform as well. And why does audio work over video? Like
Why?
why does this consumer set want audio? over
Because it's
video?
Lower
you need
data
less
rates.
attention span. You don't have to give him that much attention as opposed to
Lower
video.
data
right?
rates?
Data rates don't matter in India anymore.
Um,
Think about a housewife doing housework,
yeah.
Why
or a
is that
shopkeeper
passive
at a
listening?
shop,
That's what.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or someone who's staying in a room where there's 6 other people staying there.
Yeah.
If you're a shopkeeper and you're in your shop, you can have the test match on, but other than that, it's unacceptable to be watching soap or while your customers are in the store. So you can passively do it while doing other things,
Yeah.
and you won't disturb other people.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think I listen to all my podcasts when I'm driving. Like that's my
Yeah, same. I
driving
started doing
activity,
that now as
yeah.
well.
And then another company which is super cool. Have any of you guys heard of Lahori Jeera Soda?
I saw this on
Yes.
your Insta.
Yeah, so it's a Jeera Soda company based in Chandigarh that sells 10 rupee Jeera Soda.
okay.
Amazing.
And they are absolutely smashing it. I think they sell like 300-400 million bottles a year of that
I
stuff.
also saw this reel of
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very excited about what they're doing.
Dude, I get like all of my like new up and coming Indian company news from your page. Literally, like also, did I read on your page that like AI astronomy was the biggest, like one of the biggest things. That's why I got
So
into
there's a
astronomy.
company called Astro Talk. Have you guys
Yes.
heard
Yeah.
of Astro Talk?
Yes.
It does like again like maybe 1,000 crores of sales, very
Yeah.
profitable, maybe doing 100 crores of profit every year. And why do you think astrology works, and why are Gen Zs going to astrology?
This I saw. I'll let them answer. This
Yeah,
I
why
know.
do you think astrology works in India?
Why does it work for AI, or why does it work for
No,
the-
why does it work for
why
like
is
Gen
there
Z
a
right
company that like you
Can
guys probably
monetize
don't
astrology in
resonate
India.
with astrology so much, right? But why is so much of astrology on an app selling in India? Because mental health is a stigma. If you're going and saying you're seeing a shrink or a psychiatrist, it's like, oh, okay. But if you're going and talking to an astrologer about the same thing that you're going to ask, right? Like, I'm worried about when my kid will get married. I'm worried about how I'm going to do in my exams. I'm worried about not getting a job. I'm worried about getting laid off from my job. I'm worried about having a breakup. These are questions you ask an astrologer as well.
So true.
Got
And
it.
that's what you're going to have
Yeah.
conversations with your therapist about.
Amazing.
That's so true. It's way better.
So it's in some way like the proxy for mental health in India.
I don't think it's to me, it's far from a substitute. Like you can ask maybe similar or the same question, but
It's not a substitute.
What are you going to get back?
It's not a substitute.
It's
But
being
people
used
are
as a
substituting it with that.
Yeah.
It's being a proxy, right?
No,
It may be dangerous. It may be dangerous.
Sorry, I'm saying that people are trying, but they will not be able to substitute it.
No,
But
they
they will
that's the
feel
thing.
like
think-
it's a substitute.
Or they feel like there's
They
a
can't
substitute.
ask anyone else.
Instead of working through your anxieties
Yeah.
about like, oh, when will my kid get married? You have someone tell you, oh, your kid will get married in 2 years, and you'll be like, oh,
So it's like
Mental
it's like a temporary satisfaction. Like,
Yeah.
Because think about it, right? Like India has existed before therapists and mental health came to India, but like India is a tough place to live.
Yeah.
People had mental health issues 50 years ago as well. Where would they go? Astrology.
you know, this is very wild because I know Geo for a while. I don't know if they still do it. Does the AI? They do AI horoscope
Yeah.
on like Hotstar and stuff.
Yeah.
now.
It's by you, bro.
on
It's
the
like-
on the
Yeah.
Everyone
On
has
the
that.
like the waiting page.
The waiting page, yeah.
And you can like go in and see. And apparently, I spoke to someone who was like, it's some of their most popular content, and it sort of makes sense because it's easy to do with AI. You're not really,
Yeah.
it doesn't take. You're not doing something so creative. No offense to people who write horoscopes, and it's something that everyone like. Even if you're not interested in it, you will go read your
And
horoscope.
it's been around
right?
for so long
Yeah.
that like the database collected of what a Taurus's behavior is like in December is probably like
Yeah.
super.
India is
specific.
very unique like that, right? So I'll ask you guys one more trivia question. This is my favorite topic. Why we think India buys or consumes in one way but it doesn't. Name me $1 billion sales beverage brands in India. Beverage, soft drinks, beverages. all
oh,
that.
that's Sting, right? Sting is one of them.
Not $1 billion yet. Sales means it has to do more than 8,000 CR in sales.
Is what's,
Sting sells
what's-
1.4 billion bottles a year, which means that one Indian, like there's one bottle for every Indian, but that's translates to about 2,500 crores in revenue.
Distillery water.
No.
I'm saying beverages.
Okay,
Let's
beverages.
remove water.
Is it Osha? What is Virat's
no.
brand? No, right?
No,
No.
not even close.
Okay.
No, it's going to be some very local
like
brand.
energy or something.
Or fruity maybe.
Fruity.
Fruity.
So
fruity.
That's a good one.
not Coke, not Pepsi,
yeah.
Thumbs Up,
Yeah.
Oh, I love thumbs up.
Sprite,
Interesting.
Love
Sprite, Maaza.
Yeah,
Love
Maza's
Maaza.
gotta be
Fruity.
Yeah.
These are the beverages that sell in Nagar.
I would assume
Sprite is
yeah, that sounds like a pretty
the-
solid list, bro.
Because
Sprite
we're
is
a
the
hot
outlier.
country, and so you want the citrus cool
Yeah,
beverage
yeah.
instead of the dark black. And why Thumbs Up? Because there's masala in it versus the
Right.
Coke and Pepsi taste.
Yeah.
But Sprite, like I would assume, like a Limca or something would beat like a Sprite. Like Sprite feels very un-Indian to me.
Limca, I think
Limca
Limca
is-
could
does-
also
I
be
think
a $1
Limca's
billion
big
bev.
enough.
Sure.
Limca could also be a $1 billion bev, but Sprite's distribution is very strong.
Amazing, right? That makes sense. Coke, right? Yeah.
I had a two-part question. When was the first time you felt in your life like, okay, I just did this and I have made it now? I don't know if you've ever felt that way. And then once that happened, what was the stupidest thing you spent money on?
I definitely felt like I had made it and I would just be on a beach for the rest of my life when I sold my company because I became completely financially independent. I didn't need anything from my parents. I could buy a house in my parents' home and I didn't need to think about spending money anymore. And I thought my life would change after that, right? I thought I would do things differently.
How old
I'd
were you
be
when this
more
happened?
Like 29.
29.
I'd be more relaxed. I'd be more chilled. Bullshit. None of that happened. I did 2 months of TT classes at 2 p.m. and squash at Willingdon Club at 10 and it felt like the dream until it didn't because everyone at 29 is working.
Yeah.
My friends were working. My family was working. Everyone around me was working. We were just chilling. Like I got paranoid having an empty calendar after 2-3 months, right? So that changed very fast. And I still fly economy. And I choose to fly economy because I feel like the moment I fly business class, it'll make me complacent.
Okay.
And make me feel like I'm relaxed and comfortable. I don't want that feeling. It's weird. It's weird.
No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, we still do it.
Yeah,
And,
that's cool.
And I think what's the
You sound damn privileged for laughing at
Yeah,
that.
bro. I just want you to laugh at that. Yeah, dude.
Because-
I just said the same thing.
No.
I
Because
don't. I fly economy. sorry,
yeah.
but not because I can't buy myself business. Why do you think I laugh?
Aman loves the like Sigma grind set
Yeah.
kind of trope.
Yeah.
But it exists. I think like it's very necessary to have that level of like if you are in a position to do all of these things, to fly business class, you're right, bro. It'll make you very, very, very complacent, especially if you want to do more. And at 29 is still pretty young. in terms of like, you know, you'd be considered
But then
a
I put
young
myself.
person in a
But then I put
business,
myself in situations. So my dad said what I do is very stupid, and he gave me 2 justifications. Right. So I've joined this thing called EO Entrepreneurs Organization. We have this forum. Most of the folks in my forum are older than me, and with reason they fly business class. We go on a trip together every year, and everybody flies business except me. But I choose. That's
Yeah.
fine, right? And I make that choice and I make that distinction. My dad says that, dude, like when you fly business class, the person you're sitting next to is actually someone you can have a conversation with, and you got to put yourself in the right rooms. And by doing this, you're not putting yourself in the right rooms. I was like, okay, that's your justification. Similarly, when I sold my company, the worst thing I could have spent my money on is a luxury car. My dad's a big car guy. He's like, dude, you got to buy a car. Like, come on, like buy a car. Until then, the only car I'd bought is a Creta.
Okay.
Yo.
And I had put a budget for myself. So the backstory is that I was 24 and a half when I started my company. I can't grow facial hair like you can, or you can. It doesn't happen. So I'm still always trying to be clean shaven because it's like still a kiddie stubble type of thing, right? So think about that kind of dude trying to go into the Ayurveda business where everybody is 30 years older than me, 25 years older than me at least, driving a Honda Jazz, like showing up to meetings where people are like, dude, you're not really like, you're not the CEO, right? Send the dude who's responsible. So my dad's like, you gotta upgrade your car. So you seem a little bit more serious. So I said, okay, I have 9 lakhs in savings. That's what I'll spend on my car. I have 9 lakhs from my savings that I can allocate to this car.
Yeah.
So I'll allocate that to the car. And I was very against EMI and all of those things at that time, right? Talking about like 2016 time. And we have a Hyundai showroom in like right by our building. So I went to drive a Maruti Ciaz and I liked that car, and obviously I took my dad's feedback because he likes cars, and he's like, dude, there's a Creta, like it's available. Great car. It's a car of the year 2016, all of those things.
Car of the year 2025.
So
bro.
I said, dude, like,
But you
I was
have
like,
an
you got to
unhealthy
pay the
obsession.
difference because I'm paying 9 lakh. He bought me the Creta. Oh, I paid 9 and he paid 6. He paid the difference, and that was a great car. I bought some anniversary edition, something like that. Cool car. And then like sold the company 5 years since I had that Creta. So I said, okay, I'm going to upgrade my car. So he says, come on, let's go to these like luxury car companies, right? Like the Audi, Mercedes, BMWs of the world. And I went there, and honestly, like, it may sound like, oh, this guy's acting like he's naive, etc. I'd only bought the Creta. I have no interest in cars. I did not know what cars cost.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you can spend 1 crore, 2 crore on a car. I didn't know. And then I went there and I saw these cars, and I was like, dude, this is just not worth it. You cannot spend so much money on a car if you don't like cars.
Yeah.
You like cars, you enjoy cars, you like to drive your car. Please go and spend that money. I didn't want to spend that money. And so eventually I bought a MG EV, which now I'll be selling. But yeah, I didn't spend the money on the car.
So what
What
did
was
you
the
spend?
stupidest
What was
thing
the
you
stupidest-
I didn't spend on anything stupid. You know, I think what I thought I would do is like have a great time, go to Europe for 6 months. I booked a one-way ticket to London, and then the second wave hit, so I couldn't go to London. So I moved to Alibag for 3 months.
Sick.
I didn't spend on anything, man. I feel like thinking back, I should have spent on some stupid things. I didn't spend on anything. Nothing.
But I think now your spending is a lot more like experience based. Like you're into fitness, you're into like obviously paddle, pickle, like you're huge into that. You'd spend a lot of money on like a racket. As
How much
opposed
can you
to
spend on a
something-
racket, dude? 20,000 bucks?
How much? Well, like what's like
Yeah,
a
but your lot is
insanely
different from a
expensive
lot
racket?
in
No,
general.
I know, but I'm saying that like a car,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
house,
No, but like that's the type of stuff you
a
spend
luxury
money on.
watch.
Yeah.
Those are the things you can spend a lot of money on. A bad paddle racket is 5,000 rupees. A great paddle racket is 20,000 rupees, right? So it's not like you can spend a lot of money on
What do you think of for these creator-led businesses like Prime and stuff like that? Do you see a lot of value in investing in something like that? Have you considered doing that?
Yeah, look, I think India needs to have more of those. The problem with the biggest problem with the creator-led business is when the creator believes they can run the business.
Sure.
No disrespect, a creator is very good at creating content, at marketing, at branding. But because they are those kind of people in front of camera, big picture, front facing, and by the way, I'm not I wouldn't call myself a creator, but I am like big picture, sales, business development, ideation.
Sure.
I sucked at business until my wife joined.
Got it.
Because she was nuts and bolts, accounts, finance, HR, operations, warehousing.
Oh, you all built the company
logistics.
together?
We built the company together.
Amazing.
And Until she came, and she came 6-7 months or 9 months after I started the business. Until she came, I neglected all those functions.
Got it.
And you can't run a business without that. So what I've seen in India, and there have been creator-led businesses that have succeeded, right? Like K by Katrina, because Nykaa ran the business. Palmona's because Pallavi and Amol run the business. Shraddha Kapoor's brand. Hyphen because Kriti's not running the business. The M Caffeine guys are running the business. So there is a creator who's invested, owns enough equity and pushes out the message.
Super You right
But
now is
Super You. Nikunj is running the business. Ranveer is not running the business, right? If you have the right combination of celebrity, creator, influencer with strong organic distribution and community, that is incentivized with enough equity that they care, and so they don't do, I'll do only 3 posts for the year. No, that's not a creator-led business. With the strong back-end engine to get the business to work, it'll work. But a lot of times creators feel like they'll give 5% to someone and say, you can be the CEO and you can run the business. Never worked.
Yeah.
And there have been more failures in the graveyard than successes.
Yeah,
in
even
life.
Prime is owned, right?
Prime is like 49% owned by
KSI.
KSI Logan, and then 51 by that Costco or something like that.
Super You is
Not Costco,
would
Congo
Super You come
brands,
under
Congo
the
brands.
category of a creator-led business?
Of course it does.
But creator, you're saying Ranveer Singh.
Yeah, Ranveer Singh.
Yeah.
But more of an ambassador than a creator. Like, I know he's an equity holder in it.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a creator and an ambassador?
When I mean creator, like
You
for
mean
example,
influencer,
I
is
mean
what
like
you're
we've had Parul, for example, on the show before.
Nish hai.
She is a creator, proper creator, and like running her own business
She's a
also.
smaller actress. She's an actress. She does
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Ranveer Singh is an actor. He's a bigger actor.
Yeah.
But
But he also
I
does
wouldn't
it.
call Ranveer Singh a creator.
But
like he's not a
everyone who's an
content
actor
creator.
now is
That's
also an
not-
influencer, bro. That's how you have to market these days. You know, Super You wouldn't get that much traction, I guess, if it was on TV.
I 100%
as opposed
agree,
to-
And
but
by the way,
I-
you can have a celebrity, you can have an actor, you can have a influencer,
person.
or like all
Yeah,
all
of
these
course,
things in the same
any
world, right?
I don't know. I see him more as an ambassador than a.
No, he's very involved. He tries all the products. He posts about it all the time. He's not a brand ambassador.
Yeah, he's
a brand
acting as a
ambassador is someone who
creator,
says,
I
"This
think.
is my contract.
Yeah,
I
you
will
pay me
do
this much and I'll
6
promote your
posts,
product."
1 day shoot." He's not doing 1 day shoot. He owns serious equity in the business, like serious.
But there's clearly a difference between like a creator who will start a product on their own, build it, scale it to a level where like, let's say a Hershey's or someone wants to buy their sour candy brand now.
Yeah.
And then that feels different than if Hershey's from the get-go is like,
Yeah.
okay, come
Yeah,
on,
I
you
agree
have
with
a
you.
good
I agree with you.
distribution
And I think the
network.
creators starting their brand on their own has happened in the West a lot.
So much.
In India, we haven't had enough success stories. And I think the reason is they don't put the right team in place. And look, I think as a creator, you have to be in the know, in the now, on the next trend, doing the next thing. And so your personality gets bored very fast. Or it needs to change things very fast. Dude, running a warehouse, doing operations, running accounts is boring, right, for a creative person.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like these businesses need that support. And if they get it, like for me to build a page for Dr. Vedyas took a lot more time than someone who had already 500k followers and can push that message out, right?
Do you see, I mean, I guess you already answered this, but do you see yourself like now if you were to start a business as a creator in a sense?
No, because I don't have that audience.
Okay.
People follow me for like business related content. I can't sell people shit.
Interesting. You
I
know,
could sell people a course, right? Like I do a D2C
Yeah.
course, a
So
program.
that's your creator product.
Yeah,
then.
but I could not sell people a product.
interesting. I think I think the best way I've seen this shift actually is watching like Shark Tank over the years, and you'll see the sharks being like, oh, I'll give you advice to run this, to now like when they're doing deals they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll blow this up for you on social media. And all the sharks are now like their own creators, right? Like Kevin O'Leary has this whole like Chef Wonderful thing that he like does cooking classes. Barbara
Because they
that
built that credibility in that niche, right? And now people trust them for that.
But do you not think that you would be able to sell a product because you have credibility in that niche?
Yeah.
I think that's what he's asking. Like
Yeah,
if
because
someone,
I think to be able to sell a product, you have to have credibility in something specific. If I want to do that, I have to be more specific. I'm very general.
what would something like that be for you? Like what would you be?
I would love to sell a sports product.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dream,
What sports
actually,
product?
my dream job would have been to be a sports person. Then I realized I wasn't talented enough. Then my dream job was to work in sports. And then I ended up doing what I'm doing, which is not there. But I love, like, I'm just obsessed with sport. I love sport. So, you know, actually when I was running Dr. Vedyas, I said 82% of this audience is outside the top 10 cities. And I've had a conversation with Mishal about this as well. The other product we could launch other than Ayurveda is a mass premium cricket bats company selling bats at 1,000 rupees to all of this audience.
That's cool.
That
I
would
didn't
have
do
been
it.
fire, bro.
I would have eventually, but yeah, I've always, if I would to,
You say cricket bats is something that you'd want to.
I mean, at that time, the world has changed in the last
Yeah.
3-4 years.
So what would you want to produce now? Like, what would be like a company that you would start tomorrow and put like your backing behind it?
Do you guys know this brand called Boldfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the default. It's a decathlon for online.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think there's still massive space there.
Nice.
In a generalist sports brand. India is not that specific yet. The biggest cricket bat companies still do 250-300 crores a year. That shows that the sports market is still developing.
Yeah.
Boldfit is like one of those Tegofit, those
Tego-
that
yeah,
athletes.
kind of.
I would say it's Decathlon, right? It's a Decathlon on
everything,
Amazon.
yeah.
They have everything. Guess the sales Decathlon would have done.
Would have done?
Or would have done in FY25. Let's approximately I have the number.
Decathlon is crazy
In
bro.
India.
500 crores.
More than 4,000.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You were close, sir.
Yeah.
That says, what does that say? That signals something. Everybody's getting their first bike, their first pair of workout t-shirts, pants, shorts, camping equipment, paddle racket, pickleball racket, squash racket. Now these people will graduate
Yes.
from the first to the second and third. That's why I see the opportunity.
The second and third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Nice.
Because these
yeah,
4,000 crores
there's-
every year,
Yeah.
3,000
Yeah, yeah.
the year before, all of those people will graduate, right? They'll get better at pickleball.
Yeah, that's
They won't want a 2,000 rupee pickleball racket now.
I
They want a
guess,
4,000,
like,
5,000
Now
rupee
India is shifting more towards like physical culture for sure.
racket. Like we pay a lot to work out with Jay.
Yeah.
We won't have paid a lot.
What's the
I was gonna say that we have a few products that we want to pitch to you and see
let's
if you'd
do it.
like to partner with us on our products. Now, the only catch is that we have made the pitch for them. They've made the pitch for us. We don't know what the product is until it's being
Okay, let's
displayed.
do it.
Okay, so you guys go
We'll go
first.
first. So you're the shark. You and Ariana are the sharks. And you have to.
I watched
You have to tell us.
That was a
bad shark moment.
fail.
Okay, well, next up in the tank, we have a revolutionary take on a safety product. You know, it's monsoon. We thought that, you know, there's cars skidding all over the place, turning over. We have new roads in Bombay. There's a new coastal road. There's, you know, like we need to stay safe. We need to, you know, protect our community. So this is a product. It's a safety product. It's a road vehicle safety product.
No, you can't-
Why don't you guys take it away, man?
Yeah, just
I think you just had to say like next
this
up
is
in the tank.
next up in the tank. You're just selling for them.
It's a pretty good product. That's why
Okay.
I believe
Hello,
it.
Shah.
We created
Next
it,
up
so-
in the tank for Pride Month, we have Aman and Sid joining us.
Hello Sharks, happy Pride Month. Thank you for having us here.
Happy Pride Month,
Today we're here to sell you what I believe is the most important thing in the world, which is safety. Our product is called Crash Dummy. We are the only service using real human dummies.
Right.
Let me give you some statistics. Sid,
What a
why don't
pitch,
you give
what a
them the
pitch.
first? Why don't you give them the first statistic?
1 in 6 people are insured in car crashes every
Definitely
year?
don't believe this.
One
guy.
in
No,
six.
no, no.
1 in 6.
One in
This
six.
is a fact.
people.
This
That
is
is
a
crazy.
fact. Yeah.
That's like almost like 5 billion people, bro.
Yeah.
And so,
Injured.
So we don't want this one to be anyone who's outside our domain. We want every one of those one to be within our domain. So we make sure that we have that one that's gonna die every year.
so
Here's the thing. Here's the pitch.
Here's the thing. 1 in 6 people are injured. Now, like my partner said, what if we control who that one is?
Yes.
Huh?
And that'll be Sid.
That'll be Sid. We are beating the statistics.
And what happens just a little while before I get injured? Insurance policy.
Insurance policy.
Yes,
But
that's
that-
where you make the real money.
I think y'all should move on the next because I think y'all
So-
aren't.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about safety and testing out car crashes, right? A mannequin, someone who's not alive, can't really tell you what's going to happen to a human person, right? Like if a
Some
mannequin.
Charles Darwin natural selection shit happening here.
Well, it's funny.
Here at Crash Dummies, we ensure our testing subjects represent real life population charts, accounting for those most involved in crashes. So here's our team. Sid.
That's Rob, crash dummy extraordinaire. He has been with us since the last 15 years.
15.
And
And he manages to survive the crashes every time.
we've also ensured that
We've
we
had
have a more
multiple Robs.
ethnically diverse crash test dummies.
This is our next
That's
Crash Dummy.
holding min.
Holding. Why did you add? Why did you make it more racist? Okay. Next. That's Ho. That's actually our CFO Shangri-La. That's just the nickname. So we run a subscription model. At our base subscription, you get access to all our tier 1 drivers. And if you want our platinum package, which gives you more at-risk drivers, there is a little bit of a surcharge. These are some of our platinum test dummies. They represent a large part of the population because, as you guys know, most of the population is from Asia. Half the population is women. So these are Asian women. Happy driving. Stay safe. We're looking for a 1 CR investment for 10% of our company. Thank you so much, Sharks.
You guys got to grill them about the business now. Like all the questions that you would possibly have, you know.
As founders of this company, how many car crashes have you been involved in?
So, it's funny you ask that. Because of our proprietary technology, we've been involved in 0 crashes, guys. We've made the world way safer for the people who matter.
Your team consists of 6 people in total.
That's some of our
And
team
one out of
members.
them 6.
2 out of those 6 have not been in crashes.
They are the 4
Yeah, but we are
crash extraordinaires. Because
Yeah.
they survive all of them.
Exactly.
That's
They're
true.
amazing,
Yeah.
and we replace them and just give them the same name.
How many people die on your watch every year?
Hey man, I'm not watching, so if they die, it's not on my
Ariana, what
And
about you?
I think what we're doing is, as you said, right, it's Charles Darwin's theory of evolution.
So you
It's
choose.
the most Darwinian. It's like the core of us as humans, right? Survival of the fittest.
So walk us through a selection process of who goes into the crash and who doesn't.
So I'll give you an example.
How do you find them?
Let's say you and Ariana come in.
Yeah.
We assess both of you. We say men drive better, so we take Ariana.
I don't drive so well.
No, I'm kidding.
So still,
I know I
Definitely not
drive.
getting Ariana's money. It's not
Yeah,
happening.
I'm literally. What is this product?
It's
It
cash
is so
dummies.
dumb.
Also, you see, let's look at the real world view that we have for a second. Okay,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that are suffering, that are out there.
We want to alleviate this.
They can do with a little bit of money.
What is the real problem with mannequins? What is the real problem?
You don't have
with
real time
mannequins?
data.
We
You can't
just don't
talk,
know.
dude.
And-
How do you know how a mannequin feels? You know how a human feels.
That's
They
true.
can voice
So
their
check.
feelings in
They have like
words.
sensors, right, for mannequins probably. Like.
Yeah, but what are those sensors compared to the human brain?
So
That's
this
true.
product is for car companies to hire you guys to crash test their cars,
Yes.
or is
Yeah.
it?
No, okay, it's a subscription service
Yeah.
to
It's for that. It's for like we can give them, you know, if you want to test some stunts like those movie stunts or whatever,
yeah,
we can
that's
have
true.
humans for that.
just
We can have-
enthusiasts, movie and like
Yeah,
Mission Impossible
so
enthusiasts.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Actually, the
The
name
stunt double
Put
for
their
the stunt
life
double of Tom
at
Cruise.
risk because why not
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
what Tom Cruise did?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the name Crash Dummies actually started because when the business started, you know, we're great at pivoting. We used to give everyone an IQ test, and if you were below a threshold, then you would get
You are
crashed.
dummy.
They're not adding much to the world, no? So we were like, okay, that kind of failed because we realized that A, Sid and I failed the IQ test, and B, people weren't willing to do IQ tests, so we just put them.
Also,
in the
it's the name has a pun in it. It's
Yeah.
like
Crash
dummy.
Dummy, right?
Come on, let's go and crash dummy.
Thank you.
On that note, you secure 1 crore for 10% from
let's go.
Ariana because I'm not funding this.
Okay,
What
this is the next
sales
product.
for
Happy
10
driving,
crore?
happy
Happy
driving.
driving, guys.
Sick.
Good
Happy
job,
driving.
guys.
Okay, guys, next up in the tank, we have a product that solves an issue that many men face.
Oh.
Well,
Take it away.
you know, there's many issues that men face.
But just do the
but
presentation.
do-
I
you
just
don't
want
know the
to
issue.
preface
Yeah.
this. Can I not speak?
Just follow the. You don't know what it is.
I think, is this you on a blank screen pretty much represents like all the issues that men have.
Yeah, we just
on a
we're
day.
not
we
sure.
don't talk about it.
We don't talk
Oh.
So
about
you
it.
can't
Yeah.
see it.
I mean, there's
That's
photos.
why. That's obviously sets the tone.
Is this
That's
you?
Jay.
Arjun,
It's
is
a
this
modern
you?
day man.
You know,
Jay
I mean, well, we don't know
after-
where this is going, so I'm not gonna say that that's me. But, it could be. It could be.
It's one of
I
us.
think
It's
that-
one of
It could
us
be
out
you.
there.
It was a question. Is this you?
Is this you?
I mean, it could. It's
Can
all
I
of us at
control
some
the-
point.
Guys, can we move?
All of us at some point
let me
have
control it.
you know been praying. You know, you get food poisoning, really bad food poisoning. Just
Oof.
just getting headaches all the time, and you're booting.
And you keep thinking to yourself, is your marriage falling apart?
Is your hair, your marriage, your body? This dude is clearly frustrated with
Their
a
wives.
lot of issues. Is your wife always nagging you?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have never met a wife who nags.
These dudes obviously, crazy nags. We do have a solution for you guys.
Tell them about it.
Well, I mean, we have to introduce it first, obviously. It's gaslighter.
TM.
When your woman's talking about some stuff that you did, but you want to. Yes. I'm impressed that we came up with that. It's an AI tool, obviously. You're having a heated argument. You don't want to get too heated. You have to remain calm, even though she's getting a little emotional, a little loud. Maybe you're like, listen, I need a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'm gonna cool down. You go into the bathroom.
Gaslighter.
You type,
Open up.
like, what's up?
Yep.
GL, give me some good luck.
Examples
some
include?
examples obviously include.
So you've of course been in this position where.
I mean, is this you? Has it not?
Has it not been you?
Of course, I didn't say that, babe.
Yeah.
No, you did. Oh. No, you did ask me to clean the dishes. In fact, I think it was your job.
So we realized when we were testing the AI model.
These are some of the responses we rejected, actually. Because okay,
Read it out, please. Read it out.
Well, I think Aditya should take because I took the last one. So you sound crazy, darling. I don't even know what nugget porn is.
No, I wasn't drunk at your uncle's funeral. I just had a bad tummy.
Which is why he went to the bathroom, cooled down, used gaslighter, came up with the tummy excuse. Definitely not drunk. 95% wife shut-ups. 65% divorce rates, which honestly should be low. We're getting the new data every quarter.
But that's just
I
the
think
general
the
divorce rate.
idea is the other way.
We're not
You want
adding
the-
or
Yeah,
taking away
exactly.
from the divorce.
Yes. No, you don't want the divorce
What?
What?
because you're trying to save the argument.
Without
I
our
sense a
product,
lot
it
of
was
confusion in the
100%
room.
divorce rate.
This has brought it down to
Using our
65.
product has got it down to 65%.
Right,
People get married too
0%
quickly.
visitation.
So you're saying there's 100% divorce rate, like every marriage.
What I'm saying is there's 100% happiness.
Breaks up.
If you can see my slide right there.
That's
No, what you
100%
were saying was there was 100% divorce rates earlier, which you got
Earlier.
down to 65.
in the
the field of
situations
divorces.
So,
that we
before-
were catering to, like the dishes not being clean or watching nugget porn. Yes, the
divorce rate
rates
was
were
100%. Every nugget porn addict faces 100% divorce rate is what Aditya's tactfully trying to say.
I get that. Fair.
Good cop, bad cop. Someone just has to come out and say it.
Okay,
You're just
some
weird.
some testimonials from your users.
My wife is always on my. So this user in particular was just honestly had a super nagging wife, and we fixed that. So best product ever. Is this you once again? My wife was always on my ass. Now she doesn't even talk to me anymore. Best product ever.
Why would you even ask me that? Of course, Gaslighter is amazing.
That was a good one. How can she be in charge of the house if I'm crashing? If I'm crashing on my brother's couch? Take that, wife. Also, our slogan as well. Take that, wife. Take that, meaning me. Please take me back, babe. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. We do have a new. Gaslighter is just one of our products in our
at
wide
Gaslighter Inc.
range. Of course,
Gaslighter
exactly.
TM.
The
Gas
gas even
even
lighter. Wow, manipulation on the go. Just like the company you were talking about. Sometimes, if you're in the argument, let's say you're in the car,
Right.
you can't leave to go to the bathroom. We have audio solutions for real-time manipulation, right?
Yeah.
Some examples, I'm sure that. That's fine. That's our pitch. And if you didn't like it, don't be crazy,
Crazy.
because of course you did.
What a pitch.
I actually don't resonate with this at all. My wife never nags
I
me.
I see someone's been using our app.
Gaslighting.
Someone's been using our app already. We're putting it to good use. I see.
Someone's not into nugget porn, I
I see
think.
this.
I just want to know what inspired this amazing product. Have
Honestly,
you
just
experienced
like
this?
our love of women, and
We did a lot of research and we found that women really respond well to authority, and
Right.
we
just like an assertive tone.
an assertive
Sure.
tone.
That's what if the creators of this pitch were.
And
really
women
trying to
know that,
highlight.
you know, sometimes they get a bit hazy. So we can always take advantage of that using this app where they don't remember what they said. And we can kind of change history as we go along.
So, why don't you tell a little bit about your backgrounds, about the really successful relationships you're in?
Well, because we both have successful. Because we both have successful relationships, we thought, why not kind of like export that to the world, bro? You know what I mean?
And
we
so
wanna-
significant
we
others
wanna-
have been consulted as you've been coming up with
we
this
no
product.
we want to like touch lives, we want to touch relationships, we want to like make the world a better place. We want to bring it down from 65% to maybe like 64.
My girlfriend
next
found out
quarter.
that we were working on this app and she was like, how can you make an app? And I was like, I never made that app. Jay actually did everything.
I did the same thing back to him. So just
And that
That's
worked.
life.
Right.
That's
And
life.
that worked.
That worked.
as it always does, Gaslighter, guys. Comment down below if you want it. We'll ship one out to you.
It's a device, not an app.
It's like the Whoop, right? You
Oh.
get it. You get the device for
Because
free.
you gotta get the earpiece for the audio one.
That's true. The
For
for
gas
cancellation
lighter.
on the go,
Ah.
you gotta get the earpiece, but that updates, every once in 2 years. It's
Right.
the software that's really the product. So
And it's all
Right.
AI based.
it's all AI based. So all the prompts have been written by people with 100% divorce rates, and we brought it
And
down.
we're not
now.
even looking for that much money for the investment. We just want y'all to gaslight your followers into thinking it's a good idea. Which
Yeah, we're
would
just
be-
looking for
that's
like
the
a
best kind
barter
of
deal
marketing
right now.
we want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Ariana loves this.
Ariana
You
does
know,
love this. In fact, Ariana was one of our chief product designers.
No.
So this might be a little bit of a you were, of course you were, Ariana.
The
You
conflict of
remember that.
interest, please
What
stay out of it.
nonsense.
Okay, so I gotta invest in this now.
That's true.
The problem for
Stop.
me is I never fight with my wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
do
we
you not want to
never-
keep millions of people happy? and
Gaslighter will
also not
ensure
fight
that
with
you
your
do.
wife?
So then you'll have a use for the product.
And so I'm so scared to engage in these kind of conversations because of course my wife will watch the podcast. She supports my work and loves what I do and all of those things. So
He's a gaslighting pro.
I'm telling you, he has. That's why he's facing this side of the camera. The earpiece is in the other
actually, I'm not
side.
going to invest in this app because I'm making the competition. So
All right.
and Ariana doesn't
Okay.
believe in it. So
My
Sorry,
that's a
my-
fail. Let's say that's a
actually,
fail.
We haven't heard her
you know
philosophy
what?
yet.
I'm also working on a rival app.
Whoa! So this
It's
idea
called
is that good, huh? That you guys.
manipulation.
So y'all.
And it's where I tell men to shut the fuck up straight up. I just tell women
I
what
think
to
there's
say.
a great
Shut
collab
up.
with
invest-
Gaslighter and
we,
Man.
we
Oh my
should,
gosh.
we should definitely explore that. for
Great.
sure.
Okay.
Gaslighter and
amazing.
manipulation,
Manipulation.
from Gaslighter Inc.
Or we can come up with a co-venture name.
A co-venture.
Those were our pitches, guys. I hope you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed them.
Well, incredible.
So no investments for y'all, and we got investment. So
Well, we
no.
didn't get
Who
investment.
invested in you?
you.
I did not invest in Crash Dummies.
Of course you did, bro.
Yeah, Arjun.
What?
Pretty solid.
No.
Arjun made sure
I
you
just wanna
invested
say-
in us. Yeah.
I wish we could pitch our own ideas, bro.
Yeah,
Crash
we,
Dummies was
we
sick.
believed in the heart and soul of Crash
Yeah,
Dummies.
actually.
I didn't even
believed in
understand.
Honest,
look at the real world.
honest
Let's look at the real
feedback. Gaslighter killed Crash Dummies, man.
I think
Thank
so
you, man.
also.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
That's
I
just how
think it
we
was a
pitch.
better pitch.
You
It
guys
was
should be
Which
happier
they
than
did.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the pitch, so
We all know.
No, it was a better pitch. It was a way worse product somehow.
I designed a logo and everything.
I know. Howard has never given so much thought, I feel like, to the
But sometimes
podcast as much as he
inspiration
did.
strikes when you expect it.
The last time we did this,
It was epic.
we did some crazy products. They made a product called Sassy Sandos, which was a sandwich maker only for women.
It was targeted to young girls.
And we made a product, we made
Charity.
a charity called Lucky Blessings, where you would sell raffle tickets to people and they would try and guess the weight of a starving child. And if they were correct, they would get all the money from the charity.
If you were wrong, then the charity will raise that all the raffle ticket money. Wow. Not bad.
The Crash Dummies was interesting, but I like Gaslighter.
Yeah.
Gaslighter was good.
Great one, Gas.
I was thinking about it in the shower this morning.
What's the worst? Okay. Otherwise, what's the worst pitch you've ever got for a
Apart
product?
from these two.
You don't have to go into the names.
Yeah, yeah.
obviously.
You can just tell us the product.
Oh, good.
Because you do a lot of there's your series on Instagram right now where you're doing the pickle pitches.
I saw a pitch where a founder who was very passionate about Remova bags was
Sorry, what
making
bags?
Remova, the
Yeah.
very expensive
Yeah.
aluminium bags.
Oh, nice.
That founder thought it was a big problem that Remova bags were 1 lakh rupees and the right price would be 80,000 rupees. And so
Oh my god.
was looking to launch a company to sell Remova bags at 80,000 rupees. That is just like, just very clouded in a very small social set that actually doesn't care for the 20,000 rupees in any case. And, there is no market for 80,000 rupee aluminium Indian manufactured bag. But I see this all the time. I think being a consumer investor, you see a lot of people who build products for their friends and family and social network rather than consumers, and realize very quickly that actually there's no market for this.
What is the best pitch? Like the first time you heard a pitch, you were like, yes, I need to invest in this company.
There's a company called Nook that's started by a friend of mine, Shalabh Gupta. He was the founder of a Ayurvedic shots company called Akiva, which didn't work out, but super smart guy. His wife was the founder of Revigo,
Oh, nice.
which is a logistics company, and then they both sort of finished their startup journeys and then came together to start a consumer electronics company. The name is Nook. Nook is the capital of Greenland.
Yes.
And they said that we are not doing crazy innovation. We are doing. Do you guys know the Me air purifier?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
I have 3
everywhere,
of
right?
them,
Yeah.
though,
So that's like 30% more expensive than any other air purifier, but looks sleek, cool, and has a few AI features as opposed to being a completely AI product. And so they said all the products we launch will be 20 to 30% more expensive, look sexier than everything else,
Nice.
and have a few cool features.
This is literally, so there's a side table right outside this thing where I used to have a big like fan, like just a ugly black fan, and I was like, man, I want something like sleeker.
Sleek. And so you got the Dyson
only
fan.
ones. No, then there was Dyson, which was so expensive,
expensive.
and then your friend's
Nook.
company came
Yeah.
up because it had like nice colors, just small fan, and I ordered one. But
So I heard that bit for 15 minutes and I was like, I'm on.
Amazing.
Like, I'm
How do you
invested.
spell that?
NWK.
NWK.
Whoa,
Yeah.
awesome, dude. And then we do this segment called GOAT that I know
Yes.
Jay wanted to do. And we usually ask like, oh, GOAT musician. But I think we have some fun ones for you.
Okay.
What do you think is the greatest of all time Indian startup?
It has to be a toss up between Zomato, just because of the insane. Actually, I'll give you 3. Zomato because of the insane pace of evolution, even when they're a big company. Zoho because they were really able to sell globally as an Indian company and make us believe. And Infosys because of the first startup, the first real tech startup out of India.
You're a big sports fan. Who is the GOAT Indian sports person?
Sachin Tendulkar all day, every day, because people compare Kohli and Dhoni and Rohit and all of these guys, but none of these guys have played in a team as bad as our team was in the 90s, and none of these guys have shouldered the complete team and the expectations and hopes of 1 billion people at that time
Consistently.
single-handedly, consistently for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Because
And you know, Kohli just retired from Test cricket,
yeah.
right? Think about the longevity of Sachin.
Bro,
He played with like 4 generations of cricketers.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
started playing with Gavaskar. He ended playing with like
He also entered very young. He started
Yeah.
at, I think, what,
he
29,
played
13?
with 4 generations
Yeah.
of cricketers. Think about
Yeah,
it.
that's
you know,
wild,
it's interesting because again, like, especially recently, I see a lot of this Kohli versus Sachin. And that is like Kohli, you know, of course, has won more with India in a sense. I think, just like statistically in terms of like trophies and stuff. But
But that India that Sachin was playing in didn't win all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
And
made us believe that they could win.
I don't like we were growing up in like his golden era, right? And
Yeah.
genuinely, like, I remember when he hit his like 100, every single person on the street was watching. I remember I was back on the
Yeah.
school bus, the bus conductor, the driver was listening on the radio. It was like this big like pivotal moment in our
Actually,
lives.
you guys missed his prime. That was
I
not
guess
his prime,
so.
that was his end.
Yeah.
His prime was,
He
and
did-
that's when India really started believing that we could beat everyone. There was a series in Sharjah in 97, 98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs ever was the song of that tournament, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba, which played in the gym the other day.
What a song, dude.
India was out against Australia in 2 games, and he scored like, I think like 130 and 140 and single-handedly won those games, and like just destroyed those Aussie bowlers. And that's after that, Shane once said, "I wake up with nightmares of Sachin hitting me for 6."
Amazing. You know, like, you know, again, I grew up when like Australia was dominating. Like I remember my first cricket memory was watching that 2003 World Cup final. And then obviously Australia went invincible after that. And I think Sachin was one of those always like, oh, he's the greatest to do it. It was like, oh, like Bradman used to be and it's Sachin.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see how like recency bias is just, they're comparing him to people who he was just at some point in a different league, bro.
You know, I thought Kohli could get there, 100 hundreds, etc. all of that. But I think it's pressure of the game, pressure of social media, pressure of expectation.
The environments are very different in
It's
which
very
they both
different,
have grown their careers.
We question a lot now. Dude, we have access to so much information about cricketers. We
yeah.
never knew anything.
Yeah.
I used to read books where we'd get snippets of Sachin's photos from his wedding and I would keep those. Now you know what they're wearing to the airport.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's crazy. Like, I remember
Which watch they're wearing, where they bought their watch, which restaurant they went to for dinner,
Yeah.
you know, everything.
my favorite cricketer of all time is Brett Lee. Okay, again, because 2003 was my first memory of cricket, I remember, and I used to like obsessively look up facts about him online, and there was barely any information.
Info, yeah.
And then his like autobiography came out, and I remember like this was like a whole new world for me, right? Because you're learning how these guys grew up, and my favorite thing in the world to do was, like, my brother would be reading a sports autobiography and I would just go look at the pictures, and I would obsessively look at the pictures of them as
We get
children.
Sports Star magazines. You
Yes.
guys were too young. Sports Star magazines with a big poster in the center.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you put that poster in your room and
Dude,
stuff.
we had I don't know why, we had a massive Mohammad Kaif poster because it came in some magazine, and we would play like spongeball cricket, and if the ball hit the Mohammad Kaif poster, it was out because Kaif has caught it.
He was a brilliant fielder. One of the best, yeah.
It's such a random thing, you know, to have massive. And then I remember I was pretty young and somehow the poster tore and I was damn upset. And so then my dad had to go scour the streets to find a
find the
Mohammad
poster.
Kaif poster, and he found an even bigger one. And I was
I
like,
used to have in my room like
And
a
the run rate
sports.
dropped.
yeah.
We used to have like a sports collage of like all sports. We'd like just tear up magazines and put like football and cricket and F1, like massive collage. And my dad like did it in his room when he was a kid, so he was part of it, helping us do it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So who is like your
a-
overall sports goat? Is there like someone you can say that is like truly your number one in terms of like statistics, championships,
Michael
longevity?
Jordan probably.
Oh, okay.
There we
Interesting.
go.
That's another argument, right? You don't think LeBron has taken over?
I guess I'm from that generation,
Sure.
right? So
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about this a lot, but watching Last Dance for us was
yeah,
also
it was
like
a big
Dude, yeah,
still
even
good.
Although I
think-
will say I love that documentary, but there's a lot of bias because
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
It's like
Jordan
his entire,
produced it.
Yeah. I think I read this thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but he gave the green light to like produce it and go through all the footage and do all of that when LeBron won in 2016. So when he was doing that parade,
people's
when
relevancy, because dude, he makes a lot of money by being relevant, right?
Yeah.
He makes a shit ton of money from Air Jordans every year.
Yeah.
yeah,
On
and
that
he
note-
kind of like did a resurgence with Last Dance as well,
For sure.
especially for our generation.
Yeah. Goat shoe.
Which shoe I like, or what's the best shoe ever?
Oh, for
Yo,
you,
yours.
For you.
it's yours.
I think Air Jordan, I hate wearing Air Jordans. I wear them all the time. They look cool, but I hate wearing them. But the fact that this dude is retired like 2 decades ago, one and a half decades ago, and it's still relevant is
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
amazing.
it
I mean,
is.
the people buying Air Jordans now, the kids buying Air Jordans, don't even know who Jordan is, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they still go into that. And to wear, actually, I am now a Brooks guy. I own in
Oh.
Brooks. Brooks Launch 1.
Crazy.
Great shoes. I moved from A6 to Hoka to Brooks, and now I'm with.
You never got to the
What do you mean?
on trend. I feel like everyone's on the
Yeah.
on.
Real
people
runners
are
don't
beyond
wear
that.
on, man.
Yeah, on is like
On is a walking shoe, dude. Bullshit. Real runners don't wear
It's a
on.
traveling shoe or a walking shoe. Yeah.
What do you think?
On
Like,
is the Skechers of today.
on creator-led business in a sense.
Yeah, amazing
100%.
story.
Yeah,
Amazing
amazing
story.
story. Yeah. The Swiss
but,
fellow,
but
right?
definitely a
Swiss
walking shoe.
company.
I
Oh,
would
you know the
recommend.
story? You know, do you guys know the On story?
I think I know someone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
came up with
Say-
like the
Tell us,
prototype was
tell
with tubes or something.
No, so leave the product story aside. The real push and the real sort of virality of On came with Fed, right?
Yeah.
Now, Fed had a deal with Nike, which was expiring. As the deal was expiring, Nike offered him a short-term deal because I think he was 38, and
Towards the end of his
Nike offered
career.
him like a 3-year deal or something like that because they were like, we don't know how long you're going to play. And so he said, I don't want a 3-year deal, I want a 5 to 10 year deal. And they were like, we're not going to give him a 5 to 10 year deal. So Uniqlo gave him
Yes.
a 10-year deal for apparel.
Yes.
Which means he still had shoes open.
Yeah.
And so he had this big 10-year deal, I think $60 million deal or more from Uniqlo. And he was still wearing Nike shoes, even though he had sort of finished his deal with Nike because he didn't have shoes and Uniqlo didn't make shoes. And then On approached him and instead of cash, he took 5% equity.
Amazing.
And that 5% equity is worth like 500 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that.
I remember this story because I remember it was a very big.
And so for a
deal.
while he was wearing Nike shoes even though he wasn't a Nike athlete.
Yeah.
Because he only had Uniqlo and Uniqlo made
Yeah.
clothes.
On that note, who makes the best T-shirt, like the GOAT staple T-shirt, according to you?
I was March T, but I'm now Senses.
Interesting.
I've heard. I've
Great
seen
tees.
Senses all over
Great tees.
my IG, man.
Yeah.
Greaties.
How
Yeah.
important do you think like clothing is for like an entrepreneur in a sense? Do you think, because I see a lot of these stories of like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg wears the same thing every day because he doesn't want to think about it.
I think it's a rich person problem, man.
Yeah.
It's not important at all.
take
I
the
really
5
think
seconds
it's
to
a rich
decide,
person
yeah.
problem. Like, oh, I wake up in the morning and have so many choices and there's
Yeah.
decision fatigue and stuff like that. It's a rich person or very high performance person problem. I'd like to say I don't want to be either of them right now. But I like wearing plain tees.
Yeah.
I don't like wearing black every day, so I wear a different plain tee every day, polo or a t-shirt to work. That's fine.
Who's your biggest inspiration in the startup world?
None.
No one?
I'm only inspired by sports people.
Amazing.
Like I'm much more inspired by sports people than startup people, because the level of performance, the scrutiny, the public success and failure, I think all of those things are much more exaggerated in
Yeah, it's
sports
more
than they are
high
nowadays,
stakes,
right?
man.
Was there-
Nobody, unless you're running a restaurant, no business is naked. Only the restaurant business is naked. No other business is naked. Every sports person is naked in front of you for your scrutiny every day because there's a scorecard every day. We don't have a scorecard.
Was there any businesses you passed up on that you now regret?
Zepto.
Yeah.
Zepto, Mokobara,
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Pilgrim, Foxtail. Yeah. I think these are some really good business I passed on.
Which investment of yours has had the best return on investment?
I would say Cuckoo FM will be probably the most return on investment, but I'm still new to the game, right? I've only been doing this for 3 years, so a lot of my investments are still new and nascent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cuckoo FM probably. I have another really cool company that's Jaipur based that was doing 5 lakhs a month when I invested at some like almost like very, very small valuation. Husband, wife, and taking his mom's laddu recipes and making them a consumer product.
Wow.
Oh.
So he said that like protein bars are not for India. Laddus are what Indians grow up having.
Like
So he made
protein
energy
laddus.
balls that were traditional Indian laddus but cleaner, no sugar,
Yeah,
etc. all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They do like 3.5-4 crores a month.
Wait, what is the company called?
Eat Better.
Dude,
I love them. I literally got you all the.
Oh,
That's
it's
what
that
was.
one.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
that's
they're
pretty
big
cool.
on like Swiggy.
So I saw these guys when I just sold Dr. Vaidya's and I was like, these guys have something and it's a beautiful story. Just through laddus and millet bhujia, they are smashing it.
Dude, their millet namkeen is amazing.
Millet bhujia, yeah.
Amazing. Like,
Excuse, man. And I've seen this company from like nothing. Like I've gone to their factory.
Wow.
I've like literally told them, hey, you gotta automate the machines, and now they just kill it.
Damn.
Yeah, there's-
How long ago
they
was
were
that?
really good.
3.5 years.
Wow,
Okay.
man. Yeah,
Amazing journey.
the hazelnut laddus they make are so
Outstanding.
That's
good.
the one you
dude.
gave us,
Yeah, that's
right?
the one I made you
And now
try.
they have these travel packs. We have 3 laddus in a pack. You
Yeah.
can take them on a flight. Really cool.
That's
I've seen
solid.
that company from like nothing.
Awesome.
So I'm really invested in that story.
What's one thing you've done that is just like what's one purchase you've made that has just instantly made your life better?
Remarkable.
Oh,
You know what Remarkable is? You guys know what Remarkable is? It's a
it's the note.
iPad type
Oh,
note
yes.
taker without
Yeah.
any notifications. Doesn't connect to the internet. You just
Yeah.
take notes.
Okay.
And you sync your notes on the cloud.
Yeah.
Because I
And
just
you
have
can then
notes
erase
as
it and stuff.
as a founder or a VC, you keep taking like notes, right? And then you lose the notebook. And then what happens to those notes? But now you can search your notes, like you have all of them with you. So
Yeah.
and it's very rude to be in a meeting with a laptop and like take notes.
Yeah.
Or keep your phone open and take notes. Even if you're doing work, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a
It
wrong
seems,
vibe, right? It
yeah,
just like
yeah.
cuts the vibe.
Interesting. Do you think I don't know, this feels to me that like you would be the perfect shark on Shark Tank. Has this ever been
Yeah.
offered to you? Is this like a thing?
I feel you would be good on Shark Tank for sure.
I have spoken to them. They
Okay.
haven't officially like said yes, but I think there's a challenge, and the challenge is that I invest other people's money as well. And they're
Okay.
clear you have to be investing your own money on Shark Tank. I would love to be on Shark Tank, don't get me wrong, but you will see a TV show with me on in the next few months.
Whoa. Can you tell us more
Really?
about that?
I don't know more yet.
Okay.
But I know it will release sometime.
Oh,
this
sure.
year.
You're done filming?
No,
every-
no.
Oh,
We'll start
okay.
filming soon.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you give us like anything? What's it called? The
I can't. I
Okay.
can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be cool.
very cool.
Nice.
man.
Awesome.
That's
That's
exclusive.
Thank you so much for being here, man, Arjun. Before you leave, can we have your shelf item?
I've been wearing this on my this band, not this specific band, but a band like this on my hand for the last 13 years. Someone gave it to me in college. I'm very patriotic, and so I've been wearing this band with the Indian flag on my hand. I've given it to a few people, not so many people, a few people, and so it's something that means a lot to me, and so I want to have it on your shelf.
That's sick.
Hey,
Thank you.
awesome.
We'll put it
Thank
right
you.
around John
That's
Cena.
awesome. Right on John Cena.
What makes you so patriotic?
I was always patriotic. I loved everything to do with India. But then the time I spent in the US, actually, I realized a few things. I realized one, we have few privileged people that have the opportunity to get the exposure that we have. And we need to give back to our country. And I'm not saying I came back and did some NGO work. No, I did a for-profit job. But unlike most of my friends, I came straight back to India. 2013, everyone wasn't coming back to India. Everyone was staying in the US, UK, Australia, Hong Kong, getting jobs there. I came straight back to India. And I always knew the potential was here.
Yeah.
And it's played out, and it took a little bit longer to play out than we would have thought. But it's played out, and now with everything that's going on in the world, I feel fortunate we're living here.
I think a lot of people would share that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I feel like there's so much more opportunity here now.
And you investing in these companies is your way, in a way, giving back right to the country. It's like it's not NGO work;
And
it's
I think
for-profit
I
work.
think
Sure.
that, like when you go on the ground
Yeah.
and you meet and you travel and you go to Jaipur and Ahmedabad and Surat and Kochi and Lucknow and Indore and all these places other than Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, Hyderabad, Chennai. I go to all these places for work, right? I invest in companies in these places. There is some real hunger, entrepreneurial energy, and things are moving. Like my fund is based in Belgium. Our LPs are in Belgium, and so sometimes they're like, "Dude, you're always optimistic, always excited. Are you like delusional?" I was like, "Come with me to Surat once and ask them what a global recession looks like. They don't even know
Yeah.
because they don't know, right?" And,
Yeah.
and that energy is just amazing to see.
I feel like I have so many more questions for you, but I know we're out of time. So, but give us like give the audience one like thing to take with them from this episode.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss always asks this. to his-
I'll give you like a jumping off point on
One
that. I saw
takeaway.
one of your videos and I discussed this with you already. Like, how would you teach young kids to approach building their business? Remember
Yeah.
we spoke about
Yeah.
it as like
Sure.
you don't build to sell.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
just kind
the one thing I will say maybe to the audience, and we've been talking about this as well in relation to something in your business. There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of, I want to be this guy, I want to be that guy. And in that, there's a lot of philosophizing. I'll wait for the perfect moment. I'll wait for the perfect time. I'll wait for the perfect opportunity to come my way. And in that, you don't do anything about it. The best way to start is to start.
Amazing.
If you don't start and you don't put your product out in front of paying customers and you don't put your message out in front of people who will critique you really rather than sample product, you're dead.
Awesome. Thank you for
Great
being here,
episode,
Arjun.
man.
We're going to link everything of Arjun's in the description. Go show him some love. Hopefully, there's a part 2 to this that happens soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll
Definitely.
see you
If you
next
guys-
week
if you
on
guys
the
enjoy
Hands of
it.
That Show.
Sick, man. That's great.